Hello, top performers. Wow, we've had some amazing results. In fact, I want to share with you. We have one lady, she's a real estate agent, but she was more a property manager. And so she really took referral partnerships to heart and decided to go to some of the apartments that she was managing and condos she was managing and go to the owners. And so she went to the owners and said, hey, I really want to get more into real estate, buying and selling properties, et cetera. And so she, in the last 30 days since Top Performers has started, has closed 5 deals and made over $18,000. And it's what she made in not a year, but in about 9 months last year. And so she made in 1 month and this past month because of Top Performers and because of referral partners. And she also got a neighbor. She talked to a neighbor, and that neighbor also said, oh, I know somebody. And so that ended up being selling a house, helping, found a buyer for that house to be sold, so got it on both sides, and then had the seller buy another house. So got 3 deals off of that one deal. So this is just magical, and you are magical. Each one of you are magical. And so today with Virtual Top Performers, we're going to be talking about prioritizing our life. And as I have there kind of humorously, but not so sometimes when you're living it, if you don't prioritize your life, someone else will. And again, we want to thank Tim Peters with Columbus Capital Lending, and they have their own call center. And if you're buying Zillow leads, for example, that they go immediately when you receive them as the agent, that those leads go right to their call center, and they call them within 90 seconds. And because they call within 90 seconds, the odds of you getting those leads are tremendous. They can do all kinds of stuff on there, just, great. You can close within 30 days. And so make sure you contact Tim, and he can help you with all of your mortgage needs. So with that, let us move forward and go to our agenda, and looking at our agenda that we're going to talk about. And this is really going to be, again, every one of these sessions have some information in it that really can be life-changing information for you. And so we're going to start out today looking at the 3 principles, or really you could even call them the 3 laws of life. And as you understand these principles or laws of life, that you'll see that life is going to start playing out for you better than you ever imagined. And, last time we met, we really we began to realize the freedom that we can have by simply our thoughts, and realizing that a lot of our beliefs no longer do we have to hang on to those, and that we can have a new life. And each one of us can have a new, a brighter, happier, more prosperous, healthier life, with loving relationships, with a thriving business, everything that you have dreamed of. You can have your dreams come true, and these 3 principles of life will help you to be on that lighted path of yours to get the things that you want. We're also going to talk today about strategic thinking. So we've talked about like how the mind works, and there's 4 different areas where the mind thinks in, and most of those areas are what we call red zones, and they're either what we don't want or thinking about something that we want and it's too late. We're in the middle of a bad presentation or whatever, and then we're praying our prayers, our thoughts, and we're praying for it to get better, and it's just too late. And all of this is about, and Top Performers is about you thinking and living in that green zone. And today we're going to talk about strategic thinking, and we're going to be real hands-on here. We're going to, with strategic thinking, basically it's prioritizing our lives with monthly planning. And one of the keys to strategic planning is to be able to think not only about your plans and pre-paving how you want your professional and business life to work. And so again, we heard on how someone has I don't know, quadrupled or more their income in the last month because of top performers. And that can be you too, that, we all can be the lucky ones, and we are all the chosen ones. And we just need to realize that, and realize just how magnificent you are, and what a brilliant, magnificent creator you are. And this is to help you create the things that you want versus the things that you don't want. So this will be hands-on, and if you didn't already print out, I had a couple of pages I sent you to print out. If you didn't, that's fine. You can just write out these as we go through monthly planning and this process of strategic thinking, in order to help you to get more out of life, and in particular out of this next month that's coming up. And we will actually look at this month, because we're more in the beginning of this month, or halfway through that, and it'll be a practice, if you will, for the next month. And so right now I'm speaking in July of 2016, and so right now we'll kind of test pilot, if you will, on pre-paving and planning our month for July. But then that will set you off in order to have August be the best August you've ever had. And we're only going to get July 2016 once. We're only going to get August 2016 once. And so this will help you make the most of it to have it the best month that you've ever had. We're going to look at our mission and purpose with the strategic thinking, and then the different areas of our lives. And there's typically about 6 key areas of our lives. So this will be hands-on on you, looking at those different areas and how you want to really be able to manage those more effectively and create those areas of your life in the manner in which you want. And then finally, to look at prioritizing, how to prioritize our personal business and business lives. And just as a reminder, always every week, that you want to make sure you're doing the referral partners. And this is how this one lady made $18,000 because of top performers in the last 30 days. And it's all because of referral partners and her mindset. And so for you to recognize that, hey, this week, I'm going to make sure I go out, I identify some referral partners, or just call them friends, or family, somebody that you know, and just go to them and ask them for help. And this is the one step, the magic bullet, if you will, that will take your business to a new level of success without having to pay a penny for it. And so good news for all of that. So let's first talk about the 3 laws of the universe. And I would suggest that you write each one of these down, and then any thoughts that come to you, that these are just it's really a new way of looking and being focused, instead of focused on, reacting to life and thinking that we really don't like our situation, or, wish our situation could be better. That by implementing and being aware of these 3 laws of the universe, that you can call it the way that you want it. And so the first law is that you are a leading edge, deliberate creator. And so we've been talking about this and alluding to this, but I really want you to understand that you are on the leading edge here. The happening place in all of the universe, if you will, is right here with you, that you are expanding everything, and by expansion, expanding thought to places it's never been to, expanding feelings, places it's never been to. Some of you have children, and for those of you that do, that your love for your child is a special love that has never been there before, that type of love, and that expands all that is, and that makes God happy, if you will, and God smile on you, on just the magnificence on how you have expanded all that is. What has happened is sometimes you feel like, you're not very worthy, mainly because we were brought up in religions that said we weren't worthy. And the fact is that we were all, as Oprah says, that we were all born. If you were born, you were born worthy. And so we had such a desire to take our non-physical essence of ourselves and to put a small piece of that into this physical form. And we couldn't wait to get back down here in order to really start creating more and expanding more and enjoying ourselves. This is life is intended to be a joyride, but most of you feel like, hey, I haven't had that joyride. And believe me, I've been right with you. I haven't had a joyride either until I woke up and realized these three laws of the universe. And so you are the one that creates everything. And you're on the leading edge, and now you're becoming a deliberate creator. The reason why it hasn't been a joyride for you is that you haven't been deliberate in your creation, that you have believed thoughts that others have believed, and then you incorporated them because you say, hey, see, look at this, that my dad worked hard, so I need to work hard, or whatever that. And so we look and we say, oh, well, must be the truth then. But the fact is that the truth is you, and you can make the truth anything that you want to with a capital T on just maintaining your focus. So what does that mean? In reality it means, first of all, making sure that you do that joy shop, your joy shop where you create deliberately, is that joy shop every morning. And to read that joy shop and then to start writing down what you desire. And you're going to be clearer and clearer on the things that you desire. And then secondly, you want to write down what you appreciate. And there are millions, billions of things that happen well today, and particularly to you that have and are going to, if anything, all of us woke up with our heart working, right? All of us woke up with our circulation working, with our senses working, with our digestive system, with, that all of us are just amazing, and amazing things, miracles have been happening, but we have a tendency not to look at those. And so that's why by writing down the appreciation, and appreciate just someone smiling at you, appreciate a nice comment someone gives you, maybe a like on Facebook, whatever it is, that there are so many things, and there really isn't in God's world, if you will, there really aren't big things and small things. They're all just miracles. And so look at and treat and look for things to appreciate. And what that does is that automatically tells people that it tells God, I want more of it. And so as you are in a state of appreciation, you're telling people you want more of it. So again, that's the first step for you to be a deliberate creator. And then really the other step during the day is to care most. And I'd like you to write this down, is that I want to care most. I am wanting to care most about how I feel. When you feel good, that's your communication, your link with your source, with God, with the universe, that is your link saying you're thinking about this correctly. You're thinking about this the way that God is when you feel good. When you feel bad, that's your communication. God's knocking on your door and saying, hey, you're not thinking about this the way that I'm thinking about this. And when you start thinking as God does, that as divine mind, if you will. So I like thinking of my mind as a reflection to divine mind. And so I just have those divine thoughts come to me and come to my mind, and that I then transfer and transform my analytical mind, if you will, into a divine mind where I see through, and in the Christian religion, we say that we see through Christ's eyes. And when you start seeing through and asking for, yes, that's what I want to see, is I want to start seeing through Christ's eyes, or through the eyes of divine mind, divinity, that when you do that, you'll start to be on the guided path. Because really the bottom line of everything is you just need to feel good, because feeling good means you are on your lighted path. God, your source, is communicating to you and saying you are on your lighted path. Whenever you feel bad, it's God saying you are not on your lighted path. So that's law number one is no, you're it. Don't wait around for God to do something, because God's waiting for you. You're the one that needs to ask, and your asking is then you'll be able to receive it. And next week, in our final week together, that we're gonna put this all together, and you're gonna see the one step that has prevented you from everything that you wanted, and to show you how to be able to allow everything into your life. The second law of the universe is only well-being flows. And this is a powerful understanding, is to recognize that there is only good. There is not something out there that is after you, that is bad, is wanting your demise. There's nothing that, again, religions would call, there is no devil per se, other than what you think. Sin is you're thinking off target, and you know when you're thinking off target because you feel bad. And so when you feel good, you're on target. And so know that only well-being flows. So imagine that there's like a funnel above your head, and it's just well-being. It's just good things. Everything that you have asked for, it's coming to you, and it's all good. It's good for your health, your business, that the whole universe is conspiring on your behalf to give you everything that you want. However, that this spigot, this spout that is above you, that you have the power to either allow it to open up and to have this well-being flow to you, or you can close it down, not all the way, but you can close it down and make that spigot smaller and smaller through your negative thoughts, through the thoughts of things that you do not want. I was with someone yesterday who wanted my counsel on how to build a better relationship with this person, and they started out by telling me everything they didn't like about the person. They go, but listen, this is how it is. This is what's happening. This person talks too much. They don't listen to me. They interrogate me. They do all these terrible things. And I shared with them, and something to write down right now is that whatever I focus my attention on expands. And so by this person telling me that they don't like these things in this person, that relationship will just get worse. It has to, because it's going to expand. So you have to think. So for example, if your spouse is bugging you on, or if you're bugged because they pushed your buttons, okay? When people push your button, why is that? It's because you created the damn button. And so you're there saying, hey, you got this big button. Go ahead, push my button. And so then people are pushing the button. Why? Because you're making the button. You're making up, hey, I don't like people that talk so much, or I don't like rude people, or I don't like ornery people. Well, if you get out of bed thinking about ornery people, I can guarantee you're going to be running into ornery people all day long. And so thus, the fact is that only well-being flows. Remember, this is a world of attraction. You're in the center of the universe, and what you're attracting is different energy depending on what your thought is. And that now you realize that under the second law, that only well-being flows. So you don't need to guard yourself from anything. You don't need to defend yourself from anything, because only well-being flows. You just need to allow that well-being. The world has gotten better and better and better. We have whole libraries that sit on a little thing called our phone now. There is less poverty in the world than there has ever been. That there's more money than there's ever been, that there's more good things happening in this world than there's ever been. But if you so choose, you can choose to look at anything in a way that is not what you want, and thus you would think that it is bad, or this world is bad. I'll give you another example. I was coaching with this one person 3 weeks ago, and this person started telling me about every different thing in her business and why it was bad. And so we could do an example, and most of you are in real estate, that we could say, hey, there's a shortage of homes. We could say that, there's too much regulation and it's tough to do a mortgage, which it isn't tough for our friend Tim because he's a pro at it and he can get around all that stuff. But the fact is, that that if you look at that, then you're right. You're going to be bogged down by regulation. You're going to be bogged down. Some people, have thoughts like, oh, buyers. This morning I was talking to a person in real estate who said, yeah, and all buyers are really tough. And, I said, if you think that's what you're going to get. Every buyer, you don't have to have buyers that are tough in any industry. And, and everybody that I've worked in I've helped people in virtually every industry there is. And every type of individual, if you will, that, in general terms that I've, talked to old people, young people, that experienced people, billionaires, people in poverty, people with cancer, people healthy, whatever, the whole gamut. And that looking at that they're creating that in every particle of the universe, there is in that particle is good, the wanted, and there is what we most call bad, the unwanted. And so you need to choose, because like that person this morning was choosing to have in their life, but they said, no, really, it's true. And so I've had every person tell me also that this industry, whatever industry they're in, is really rough and tough and hard. And that, it doesn't have to be that way at all. And so you start using words and calling forth that, hey, these deals are going to be easy. The buyers are going to be harmonious. And that because there's alpha to the omega, everything you want and everything you don't want. And the beauty is on this law is if you will allow it, that only well-being flows to you. So there's no bad thing out there trying to get you. You're not paying a price for a previous life or car, none of that stuff. Is that you can create any situation into a better situation. And by the way, that person that I was coaching with yesterday who wanted to build that relationship, and I talked to them this morning, and they said, it was just amazing because I had them start out, I told them, just start out the meeting with, hey, I'm really looking forward to this. It's going to be a great meeting between us. We're going to really be open with each other, et cetera. And it was the best meeting that those two people have ever had. And why is that? Did the other person change? No. That what happened is that this person allowed the well-being, the wanted, to flow to us. And then finally, the third point is cooperative components rendezvous with your thoughts. And so think of the power of this, and that's where at the end of that is with your thoughts, okay? With what? With your thoughts. So let's go back to this example of this relationship that this one person yesterday was having a problem with relationship. I shared with that person that because you get angry at the other person, that what happens is you start attracting cooperative components. So I said, have you been noticing that your relationships, that, they're more aggressive, that they're not as harmonious, that there's, more fighting, more bickering? Are you getting angry at more people? And he thought and he said, yeah, actually that has happened. And that's correct, because you are the attractor of everything based on your thoughts. And so you attract. And so once you have a thought, let's say that I am successful. Okay, I love myself. By you just stating that I am successful, that cooperative components will come and they'll show you that you are successful, and you'll get a deal, you get a referral from a referral partner, that you'll be able to, be successful in a happier marriage, a happier relationship, a better relationship, that you'll start seeing success all over you, all over, and coming to you. And like, I love myself, just by saying I love myself, as you love yourself, you're going to find more cooperative people, more people that love you. You're going to find more things to love. And so, it's really back to this principle, is that the more love I have for myself, the more love I have to give. Okay, the more money I have, the more money I have to give the world. So you want more of all that wanted, because it not only helps you, but it helps everybody around you. And your thoughts are the attractor. And so think about it. I would write down this word, this phrase on cooperative components, that it's cooperative components. So when I'm angry, if I have a bad relationship with this one person, it's going to start bleeding in to my other relationships. If I start dwelling on a deal that went bad, then I'm going to get more deals that go bad. And so now this is the time to go back to step one and say, yes, that I am a leading edge, deliberate creator. I'm going to create it that I want, and I'm not going to look at anymore on what I don't want. I'm going to just point to it and say, that's what I don't want, and then ask, what does this birth of what I do want? And all of a sudden, you will start getting ideas on how to birth the things that you do want and expand all that is, and then know that only well-being flows. Everybody. So there's a conspiracy going on in your life. And the conspiracy is that everything non-physical, this energy, this love, the universe, God, that is conspiring on your behalf to give you everything that you want. And it will conspire by giving you these cooperative components that will fall right into your lap, and you'll see that everything will get better and better. Your relationships, your business, your health, that everything, as you just start focusing on the things that you do want. And so with that, those are the three laws, the three principles of life to live by. And now that you're more aware of that you are a deliberate creator, and you are becoming deliberate because of the joy shop, because you're deliberately paying attention to your feelings. And when you feel good, you just want to run with that and run with those thoughts and be able to do that, and know that only well-being is there. There is no power. There is no force that's working against you at all. And then know that you have cooperative components that are going to come around there. And as one thing gets good, so another thing's going to get better, and another thing's going to get better. And it's like a snowball going downhill. That's because my Wisconsin upbringing on the snow, that when that snowball goes downhill, it just gets bigger and bigger and better and better. And you have the power to do that. So let's talk now about critical thinking and prioritizing your life. And each month, I'd like you to, and you have the forms now to be able to do this each month. I also have it available in my time management system every month, where you actually would have this monthly planning. But we're going to go through this critical thinking that will set yourself up for success every month, month after month, more and more success. It's the most productive time in your entire month. Typically, monthly planning takes me about 2 hours, and it's the most important 2 hours that I can invest. And I typically do that at the end of the month, a couple of days before the end of the month, that I look at. I'm coming up to this month, and I want it to be the best ever. And by completing this information, that you'll start seeing that you'll have the best ever month. Again, 2 hours it takes every month, and you start calling it the way that you want it. So you're now pre-paving your day with the Joy Shop, and this now will get you to become a master at time management and be able to start planning your month now as you're only going to get this month, and again, we're in July, so you're only going to get this month once, and so you want to make the most of it. So I'd like you to take out the page Mission and Purpose at the top of the page. If you don't have that page, you could just write down on any notepad or whatever your mission and purpose. And so I'd like you to look at, it's kind of like, here's A, where you are now, and then B is like, in 20 years from now. Or 10 years from now, but what do you want to be, do, and have? So on my mission and purpose, that my first, when I first started doing this, gosh, over 30 years ago, that it was that I wanted to be the best dad, the best husband. I wanted to have a $1 million house. I wanted to drive a really nice car. I wanted to be a millionaire, be independently wealthy. And because every month I was doing that and just thinking about that and thinking about that, asking for that and knowing that it was all coming. And I got every one of those things that I asked for because that was my mission and purpose. And we all are evolving. See, once you make your first $1 million, you'll want to know about making the second $1 million. And so we're all growing and all evolving, and that's all part of life. And the beauty of life is that, and we'll, at some point, that we end up, the new comes in, the old goes out, and then we'll come back in new again. And so it's just this beautiful evolution of life. And so know that your mission and purpose is going to evolve. So I shared with you what my mission and purpose was like 30 years ago, but what is my mission and purpose now? And so for me, it's to feel good because I now realize and I trust my intuition. I trust my feelings now, knowing that that's God, that's my source talking to me, communicating with me, keeping me, guiding me on my lighted path, that I realize that the main thing that I want to do is to feel good because that way I'm on my path. I would say to you, you wouldn't have to hear another word. You wouldn't have to read another book, go to another course. You wouldn't have to do anything as long as you can just focus on feeling good. You will be given all the thoughts, all the ideas in order to give you your joyful, blissful life that you've wanted. But what I'd like you to do right now is write down, what's your mission and purpose? What's the big picture out there? That what do you want to be? What do you want to do? And what do you want to have? So I'll give you a minute here to think about that and then write down what your mission and purpose is. And again, if you have any questions, you can just type them up on me. So write down your mission purpose. And again, this could be that, hey, I want to have a happy, loving family, that I want to have a thriving business. I want to be healthy. I want to have a closer relationship with God. Whatever those things are that comes to you on what do you want to be, do, and have. So with that, now we're going to move to personal goals to focus on this month. And one of the keys to, and I teach strategic thinking to corporations around the world, from billion-dollar corporations down to entrepreneurs. And one of the keys is to make sure that you mix both your personal goals and professional goals. I have seen people that have been so immersed in their professional goal that it basically overwhelmed them, overtook their lives. And, one day roll over in bed and they wonder who's in the bed next to them, or who's sleeping next to them, that, they just forget about the importance of our entire life. And so you want a well-rounded life. So part of strategic thinking is to think like with corporations, it's about thinking about the community and not just, the profit and the sales, but also the community, the employees. How can you make it a better place for the world, for the individuals, but individually and for you right now, that to look at. And so we're going to first focus on family and home. So again, we're going to just practice in July for the next couple of weeks, and this will be kind of your dry run, but can be very real, and you can really create what you want. But one thing, so these don't have to be huge action steps that you want to take. What you want to do is you want to really feel good about what you write down here. So family and home, it might be something as simple as, I'm going to share with each one of my family members every day at some point, and I'm going to look them in the eye and tell them, I love you with all my heart. Doesn't that just seem sweet? Wouldn't you love to be told every day by your loved ones, I love you with all my heart? Well, the only way for them to be that way with you is for you to take the leadership role now that you're a deliberate creator and say, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to look my children in the eye, my spouse, whoever's important to you, your friends, whoever. I use the word love a lot in business where most people don't at all. I just wrote a letter to an executive of a large company who's coaching with me, and after we were really talking about some very sensitive, some very things that were important. See, like when you feel bad, what that is, that's an indication that this is something that's really important to you. Okay, when you feel mad, when you feel angry, so it's an indication the subject is important, but because I feel bad about it or angry, that I'm not thinking about it correctly. And then all you have to do is ask and say, I ask for the right thoughts to think right about this situation or this person or my business. And you'll see that it will. But back to family and home. That could be one of the things that you do. Maybe it's, look at your calendar. And so again, I have a time management system that turns people into masters at time management. And it's it's a pen and pencil, if you will, pen and paper, a time management system for 12 months. And it has a month at a glance and then a day at a glance. And what you do is you write first any commitments you have first to yourself and then to others. You write in the month at a glance, and you don't put it in the day at a glance until the day before. So again, if you're into time management, that one of the keys to managing your time in the next for the day is the day before. At the end of the day is to look at and to plan out your next day, and you'll start seeing that everything becomes easier and more fun. But look, in the next 2 weeks, it might be somebody's birthday, maybe it's your anniversary. In fact, for me, it's my birthday on Saturday night. And so we're going to a real great thing because I did my monthly planning, and I realized that that on my monthly planning, that I said, oh, my birthday. And so then I planned at going to the nice restaurant. I would have never got into that nice restaurant if I would have all of a sudden thought of my birthday or a couple of days before my birthday to get in, because they're typically about a month out. So look at the next 2 weeks. Maybe it's someone's birthday, your anniversary, whatever, but you want to make it special. So look at family and home, and what's the one thing that you want to do special with your family and home. Then financial and career. And this will be, we're going to look at more detailed things that you'll want to do with your business in a minute here. But financial and career, maybe overall, hey, what would you like to allow money-wise into your life in July. And so that might be 5,000, might be 15,000, whatever that number is that makes you feel good. You can't put out a number, 100,000, if you don't believe you can make $100,000 a month. And so I've made $100,000 in a month. I know other people, lots of other people that have made $100,000 in a month. So it is possible. But again, if that doesn't make you feel good, then just start at whatever number does make you feel good, because that number will then lead you to the next number. And a great thing you may want to write down is, I graciously receive X number of dollars per month. So I had a lady that I know that she started saying last, maybe she was making about $30,000 a year, and or no, I'm sorry, she was making $3,000 a month, and so she decided to start telling her, I graciously received, this was back in March of last year, I graciously received $5,000, and then within the next couple of months, she got $5,000. And then she said, I graciously received $10,000 a month. And she got $10,000. And in November, she said, I graciously received over $100,000 per month. And on January 4th, she got a check for about $107,000. And it's through a different way on some advertising she was in, and it just took off. Well, how did it just take off? It's because she was able to mentally say, I graciously receive. So again, financial and career, and it might be something like, I'm going to attract at least like 5 referral partners, and then you'll see they'll start coming out of the woodwork. Excuse me. Then mental and educational. So for you in the next 2 weeks, I would say I want you to really get into mental and educational on the top performers. And so I would go through the MP3 and listen to that again. And maybe go back to Success Unit 1 and do that. I'm telling you that I've had people that have taken this like a second time, a third time, a fourth time, a fifth time, and every time they take it, they get something new out of it that they kind of miss because they're, acceptance of these ideas, and it just helps them grow and grow and grow. And so mental and educational for sure to do this week and prioritizing your life, and then next week is just going to be a rocking time with your emotional intelligence and putting this all together and realizing how important your emotions are. So write down something: mental, educational, physical, and health. Maybe it's just that I'm going to drink more water. I'm going to give you the solution to health, the 3 steps to health. If you do this, I guarantee you that you'll be healthy, and you can create, if you share this with someone else, they can create health no matter what their physical condition. So the first step on how to have and be healthy is to have good feeling thoughts. So, and I would write this down for sure. I need to have good feeling thoughts. What are good feeling thoughts? Typically, they're mainly about the things that I want to be, do, and have. And so just think about thoughts, or it could be pleasant thoughts on that you've had in the past, on pleasant experiences, that as long as you're not thinking it's missing. See, when you think things are missing and they're not there anymore or whatever, that then you start feeling bad, and those are bad feeling thoughts. So number 1 is good feeling thoughts. The second one is to breathe deeply. So just breathe in deeply. And then you can close your eyes here and just breathe out. And as you breathe in deeply and breathe out, that it's the fastest way for you to connect with God, with your soul, with all that is. Your breath, that in the Bible, the word spirit actually means breath. And so it's all about your breath and those deep breaths in and out. If you can do that for a couple of minutes, if you get frustrated, Just go sit on the toilet or, go to your, whatever, to go to some private place and just breathe deeply for a couple of minutes. And you'll see you'll be sitting right in heaven because you are. And so that's the second one. So good feeling thoughts for good health, that breathing deeply. And then the third one is drink plenty of water. And that over 90% of our body is water. And the more you can cleanse your body, and so you're drinking more water cleanses you. And so that's not soda, that's, it's actually water. And I personally do bottled water. And I just believe it's healthier for me. And then the next one is social and cultural. So I want you to write down, hey, what are you? You have been each so blessed. You have been blessed with your good health, with your family, with your loved ones, that, with your job, this business, this wonderful business, that with your freedom, that being in the United States, the wealthiest nation ever in the history of the world. I mean, there's so many good things playing out for you. And what do you want to give back? And so it could be something easy as like one of the things I always do when there's someone asking for money on the street, they're asking, and I'm going to be the one that allows them to receive. And so I give them my highest bill that I have in my wallet, I give it to them. So I hope I have hundreds and give them 100. That the more you give, the more you get back. That, you may want to donate some of your time to the Boys and Girls Club like I do, or to schools and the education. I just set up a meeting with educators for schools. And about 50 teachers, and before they start their school, and I'm doing it for how much? I asked them, well, how much would it be? And I'm doing it for free. So think about, you've been so blessed, and what are you giving back? And you'll find blessings in everything that you give back. And then finally, spiritually and ethically. And I would suggest that spiritually that, some people say, hey, I want to read the Bible every day. Great. Want to, be in prayer every day. Fantastic. That what I say is I love being in the joy shop, because that's really where God and I are out creating and expanding all that is, and making the world a better place. So write down those that as you think about that, and again, they don't have to be big steps. We also prioritize those. Notice in the left-hand column, there's a prioritization that prioritize them. In fact, right now, do that on what's most important to you right now. It might be your family, it might be business. And so some of the things maybe aren't important to you right now. And if so, that's just fine. As long as you have some type of balance on looking at your personal life and your professional life is all you need for critical thinking and for your more and more success. Just think, if every month you identify just one easy little thing that you can do in your life, just think on how beautiful and blessed your life is going to be. And in next month and 6 months from now and a year from now, and it just gets better and better as you become more of a deliberate creator. So business goals to focus on this month. And so I'd like you to, on the next part of that, is business goals to focus on this month. And so that can be, many things that and I've listed a few things that I'd like you to consider. Number one is to attract ideal referral partnerships. So I shared with you on how someone just had 5 closings in the past month. That, how can that be? Is that luck or whatever? No, that person is focused, and it was all through ideal referral partners. And she recognized that, she had neighbors, that she had investors that she could go to, and she closed more deals than she did in about 9 months or so. And maybe another one is track out of the blue clients and listings. And so for those agents that you want listings, for all of us that we want to attract out of the blue, and what kind of clients? Ideal clients. And so maybe you say, hey, that's one of the things I want to attract, at least 3 ideal clients, or whatever that number is, okay? Allow over so much money. Here's what I am wanting. I am wanting to graciously receive over whatever that number is, 5,000, 10,000, whatever number that you believe in and think that you have the ability, that God has the ability to give you, you can have. So it's all a matter of you trusting your source and the ability of the universe to provide you what you ask for. And then another one that is just a tremendous action step is to ask to expand your imagination. I'm in business transactions now that, because of me asking on expanding my imagination, have been just unbelievable. From me wanting to awaken the world with my newest book, The Happiest Man in the World, that's now a best-selling a book that I just had NBC ask me to do an interview with them. A radio program asked me to do an interview with them. That I'm working on literally a multi-billion-dollar business transaction business, a deal in real estate that's going to help the inner cities. There's just so many amazing opportunities out there for all of us, but you have to ask to expand your imagination, to not that I don't want to just continue doing the same things, that I want to expand my imagination. And then be deliberate in my thinking and feeling. And so those are all business goals. And why are they business? Because when you're deliberate in your thinking and feeling, you're going to be deliberate in thinking and feeling about how your business is thriving, on how you're thriving, on how you attract harmonious and ideal clients, how you attract ideal referral partners. And the more that you just soak your mind into all of these beautiful thoughts about you and your business and how you want to just expand your mind. Because remember, step one of everything is your thoughts. So I'd like you to write down your business goals right now. And then in particular, I'd like you to write down this, I am wanting to expand my imagination. And then a final one that is just great to write down that will generate business for you, as long as you're saying this and don't contradict this thought. But I am wanting to attract more business. So I am wanting to attract more business building ideas, opportunities, and manifestations. So again, that's I am wanting to attract more business building ideas, opportunities, and manifestations. And as you say that and know that that's true, that just know that more and more business ideas and opportunities and manifestations are coming your way. Hallelujah. Fun. So then the next section of that, and it's on page 2 on what I had sent you, but what that does is that helps you to prioritize now with this critical thinking and review that first page on all the things that you wrote down, and now organize that all into what are my top personal and business goals. And so I'll give you a minute to just kind of review that and look at it. And it might be your family, it might be financial, it might be one of your business goals. You may want to lump them together on that. And like one might be, I want to have a thriving business. Okay, because we indicated about 5, 6 things that you want for your business. So maybe to prioritize that my top personal and business goals, I want a thriving business. I want to be happy. I want to feel good. I want to expand my imagination. And maybe that's your priority. And it's just another way to hit your consciousness, to start prioritizing. It's all part of critical thinking, is to prioritize what is important to me. And then what do I want to focus my mind on, and have that divine mind be the reflection of divine mind. So I have these divine ideas that create all the things that I want. Okay, so write those down. And then I wanted to talk about high payoff activities. And so again, this is every month. If you focus on your high payoff activities, most people are focused about 30% of their time in high payoff activities and about 70% of low payoff activities. And just using this one exercise, you can increase that 30% of high payoff activities to 60% of high payoff activities. So what are your high payoff activities? Here's what I would recommend. Number one is the Joy Shop and to pre-pave your day. The second high payoff activities is to attract and meet with referral partners. The third high payoff activity is to meet with and close either prospects or clients. Okay, so those referrals that you get from your referral partners to now actually meet with those referrals and or clients and then close them. And close could mean signing a contract, signing a mortgage, whatever the case may be. And then the fourth one would be to follow up, for good follow-up. And so we have a lot of things, and one of the things my time management system does, and again, if you're interested in that, you can ask me about it, that it prevents things from falling through the cracks. How many times have you said, oh, and I forgot this one thing, and oh, I didn't do that. And that this prevents you from falling through the cracks. And one of the ways to be focused on it is on follow-up. And so every day I would ask yourself, what do I need to follow up with? Who do I need to follow up with? Whether it's a transaction in progress, whether it's a referral partner on referral, where do I need to follow up? And then the last high payoff activity is to close and then ask for referrals. And so we'll be looking at, and again, this is mainly for referrals, but for in the real estate professionals, but for those of you that aren't, that you could look at close as, getting agreement to yes, to moving forward. And so those are your high payoff activities. There is also a page where you can look at, and at the bottom of the page that I had sent you, there's an imperative project list, an important project list. So what this is, and again, remember, you're looking at the month now and you're saying, hey, for July, what imperative do I have to do? So what's the things that I absolutely have to do? So identify that both in your professional and your personal life, and then look at what are the important project lists. So the important ones are where you're not in the red zone. Imperative means, hey, I'm in the red zone, I got to do this, but at least I'm doing this monthly planning, so I don't have to do it right now, but I do need to do it in the next couple of weeks or in the next month. That important project lists are, I really don't have to even do this project list, but if I do, I'll be way more successful. So it might start as easy as a cluttered desk creates a cluttered mind. And so you may want to think about, hey, one of the important project lists, I don't have to do it, but if I do it, it's going to make me have a clearer mind and have more clarity and be more effective. And so thus, I'm going to clean my desk. And then I would actually put a date on when am I going to clean up my desk and my files, or, whatever the case may be. Excuse me. And then the final one is the 1 to 31 tracking sheet. And I have sent this to you earlier, but basically the numbers at the top are the numbers of the month. And you would write down, so for example, under personal goals, what do you want to track on a daily basis? So you could put this up on your refrigerator. I have it in my time management system. Every month I have a new one in the month at a glance, to where I start tracking every day either thoughts or behaviors that I want to start having. And so the first one under personal goals, I would recommend that you put down Joy Shop. Okay, put down the Joy Shop. And then other personal goals could be your thoughts that I seek and find things that make me feel good. A couple of mine that I just love is, one is, something wonderful is going to happen for me today. So think about that. Yeah, well, something wonderful is going to happen to me today. So I write that, and I actually write 2 lines in the little space there to be able to do it. But that hits my consciousness every day, and then I check it off. So today is the 13th. So at the end of the day, I go to this and I say, oh, did I think this or do this on what I wanted to do? And then on the 13th, I put a check mark. Or if it's under business goals, C3 or C5 referral partners every week. If I saw 2, you put a little 2 then by the 13th. And this way, it keeps you online. It keeps you on your path on the things that you want. So your success steps for this week. I'm going to be sending you unit number 4 and prioritizing your life. It's going to cover this information and other information, and I'd like you to listen to that at least 6 times. Then I'd also like you to complete your monthly planning. So we just went through monthly planning. That, again, if you want one every month and with the time management system, get with me on that. That for now, you have the forms that you can write this every month. That one of the challenges that I found with people is that if they're not coaching with me, or if they don't have a time management system, that they think it's a great idea, but they end up not doing it. And so this is a way to keep you, on it. But you have the forms now to, at least for this month, to be able to plan your month. Then I'd like you to meet with at least one new ideal referral partner this week. And then watch this webinar again until you believe it. That we had some thoughts here that are some new thoughts for you, that I want you to just be easy with yourself and be allowing, be in a state of allowing, and just allow these ideas. It's helped thousands of people, and this can help you, this process, and it is already helping you. It's getting into your mind, and you're starting to realize and to think clearly, and starting to align with all that is, that gives you everything that you want. And then make sure you do your joy shop every morning. Contact me with any help that you may want. And I thank you all that it was just a fabulous time today with you. Love you guys. That get back to me if I can help you in any way. And now you know how to be a critical thinker. Now you know the 3 principles of life and how to plan your month the way you want it. Love you. Bye-bye.